I mean, every day. The reality is, as entrepreneurs, every day you wake up and wonder what size, not if you're gonna get hit by a bus, but what size the bus is and how fast it's coming at you. And, I mean, I started off really simple life, right? I would go after high school, after I got off of school, I'd go work at a local mall and sling phones. And then when I opened my first store, I was the only employee for 4 months until I could finally, have enough money to pay my first employee and then scale that.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. Super excited to be here today. You know what I like to say? I love when I have new guests on to be able to see things from their perspective. They are the expert at what they do, and I'm so excited that we get a chance to pick their brain. And so today is going to be no different. I have someone here. Now, listen, dynamic. Look, he didn't say this, but I'm saying this about him. And I could be off, but I broke down the king of automation. And I'm going to tell you why I said that, because this guy, when he does it once, he does it 100 times over. Pretty much meaning if he did it one time, he know how to duplicate it. So maybe that don't fall in the realm of automation. I don't know, but that came to my mind because this guy can make success happen over and over and over again. And so I'm very, very excited to introduce you guys to Mr. Justin Sloan. Mr. Justin, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing so good, Q. Good to see you and talk to you, man.
Absolutely, man. Good to have you here. And listen, I don't want to waste any time. I want to dive in. I would love for you to tell the people what your main focus is these days. If you want to give us a little bit of origin story, how you got started, how you worked your way into real estate. We love a hero's journey, so we would love to hear that. And if you want to tell them what markets you're operating in, we would love to know that as well. So, Mr. Justin, sir, you got the floor.
Yeah. So my name's Justin Sloan. I'm the CEO of Sloan Capital. We're a real estate and restaurant holding company. We have kind of an investment syndicate that invests in different things and companies together. But started off, really simple. I was born to single mom, three boys. And so I learned the grind culture and hustle culture really early. And right out of high school, started selling phones and ultimately ended up opening my own cell phone store. I scaled that into owning multiple stores across the state of Iowa, which is where I'm born and raised. And then from that, kind of parlayed that into real estate. So I was a tenant, obviously, in my strip malls, and then started learning the real estate business, flipping little houses. And then kind of like what you were talking about is, how do we duplicate, how do we do the same thing over and over and over again? Because I did it with my cell phone stores, getting up to 4 or 5 locations. Well, then when we started getting into rental properties, we started owning dozens of houses. And now I am part of a company called Everbowl, which is an acai bowl, kind of build your own superfood bowl chain. And I found that company when they had 22 locations, invested into it, along with my investors investing into it. And then we also started opening locations ourselves. So we have 11 locations across Iowa and then also in the state of Texas. So we're expanding into Dallas, and I'm there about 100 nights a year now, and just continuing to grow and find things we're passionate about scaling, and go from there.
And yeah, wonderful. So it sounds like a little bit about building businesses. I mean, just like a tiny bit. No, I'm just joking, man. I'm just listening to you talk all your success. You know a lot about building businesses, a lot about finding success. And so I would love to know are there some core business strategies that you hold dear as kind of standards for you? But I also would love to know if there's any personal strategies that you found that help you as well. When I say personal strategies, I know some people do cold plunges, meditation, different things like that. So are there core business strategies and core personal strategies that you found that have helped you along your journey?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, I think systems in general, whether it be business or personal, are really important, right? Because if we're going to duplicate things, we also have to have our actions, help those outcomes. If you want to lose weight, well, you've got to have a system in place in order for going and doing those things. Or if you want to scale revenue at a specific company or something, you need to have something that's not only something you do once, but that you can repeat over and over again and in different markets and all that kind of stuff. So, I definitely look for things that are scalable, that are repeatable. If someone likes it in one town or there's a group of people that, like this specific property, then let's have more of those. And then with that becomes easier to manage. I think one issue with entrepreneurs, and I'm this way as well, I hate the term serial entrepreneur, right? I think it's really overused, but I definitely consider myself a serial entrepreneur. But with that, serial entrepreneurs have shiny light syndrome, right?
Mm.
Go over here. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's go do this. And, every day we're presented with new incredible ideas or new paths to go down. And it's very important to really have to, blur out and black out those opportunities to focus on the core businesses at the main time. And, no different in personal life when there's all these things that could distract you from your goals, you have to be able to have tunnel vision to go and execute the things that you want to. So whether business or personal, I would say you've got to remove that shiny light stuff and focus, get tunnel vision on going to scale and make the things that really matter count.
I think that's very, very good advice for people because you're right. I've talked to so many people who admitted just like you. Like some guys say, I'm like the squirrel chasing the new nut, or like you said, the shiny object. Like making sure that you're disciplined, making sure that you know what's your why. When you know who you are, you know what to do. So making sure you can still still win, but and overcome that shiny object syndrome. So I talk to a lot of people and they share that same sentiment, and so I hear you loud and clear on that. And now you've built a lot of successful businesses. And so have you faced adversity while you was building? I tell people all the time, it's one thing to show people the success, but it's one thing also to talk about the journey to success. On your journey to success, have you faced any adversities, any hiccups, had to pivot fast, some deals fall through? Have you faced anything like that on your journey?
I mean, every day. The reality is, as entrepreneurs, every day you wake up and wonder what size, not if you're gonna get hit by a bus, but what size the bus is and how fast it's coming at you. And, I mean, I said I started off really simple life, right? I, would go after high school, after I got off of school, I'd go work at a local mall and sling phones. And then when I opened my first store, I was the only employee for 4 months until I could finally, have enough money to pay my first employee and then scale that. And over the 12 years that I owned and scaled that cell phone chain, think about how many things changed in technology during those times. You went from flip phones to color screen phones to Blackberries to iPhones. And then people started ordering online. Like, why would I go into a local store? And that obviously that changes the entire business model as well. And in real estate, things change as well, right? Ups and downs in the market, ups and downs in interest rates, ups and downs in legal challenges that can be with being a landlord or being a going through construction processes. And now in the restaurant industry there's a million ups and downs. We have inflation with food items. We have different challenges regarding the consumer. Right now the average consumer is definitely hurting and not going out to eat as much. So how does that affect our business and how do we pivot? adding more value items onto the menu or items that are a broader time of day and things like that. So I think the reality is that, it doesn't matter where you work, whether you're, work for yourself, work for somewhere else, there's never going to be just this straight up and to the right arrow.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And there's all sorts of ups and downs and stepping back and this and everything, and throughout my life we've had to make crazy decisions in order to continue different things moving forward. And I can remember when I decided to get out of a cell phone business and I kind of saw the end of that coming. I had built a huge house, I had put a lot of money down on that, and I made the decision to actually sell that big house, and I went and bought two little strip malls with it and pivot in different ways. But all my friends were like, "Is everything okay? Is he doing okay? Is he gonna And I'm just like, no, I don't want to spend all my money just on where I go and sit and sleep. I want to have my money working for me in different areas. So the adversity, it never stops. And if anything, it has, as you get bigger, you have bit higher highs and lower lows, but it's just plug in, keep going, and have the determination that there's no way I'm going to quit no matter what. So let's go figure things out day by day.
Absolutely. I'm gonna ask you a question. I wasn't planning on asking you it, but the more you talk, the more I'm curious. When did you know you would be an entrepreneur? Like, was it something that happened in your teenage years? Like, when you selling candy bars and like, man, I just know, like, this is something I'm gonna do. Like, when did it spark in you that you like, yeah, I'm going to be. I'm not going to say the serial entrepreneur, but you. When did you know you had the entrepreneurial spirit in you?
I mean, I don't know if there was a specific moment, but like you just said, I was in middle school and I would go to Sam's Club and buy bulk candy and piece it out to my friends. When I was a junior in high school, I actually arbitraged and sold my entire high school new laptops and made like $8,000 or something like that, a couple $100 per laptop, where I, arranged this deal to get them wholesale and set them up and all this kind of stuff. And I think it comes from having a single mom of three boys. We talked about, from a very young age, my brothers and I had to buy a lot of our own food, our own clothing. Our grandma would take us shopping, once a year and all that kind of stuff. And I look at that as what made me who I am today. Because then with that, you're always looking for different opportunities. And, the reality is I'm probably not good working for other people because I question everything. I want to find other opportunities. I'm not okay with the status quo. And so with that says, well, I should go build my own thing and give myself my own opportunities. And I just can't imagine it any other way.
Yeah, yeah. Now, when I listen to you talk, I listen to one of my best friends who's just doing fantastic in life, fantastic businessman, and his birthday was just 2 weeks ago. And I sent him a voice note telling him because he comes from a single, mom, single family, I mean, single mother, and I remember telling him the story on his birthday because I still remember that kid that came out the house with a trash bag because he didn't have a suitcase. So he had his clothes in a trash bag when he would come to our house. That's how, he would come. And he told me, he was like, it's funny that you say that because he said that's always in the back of his mind. He's like, I'm that kid that had that trash bag and I'm never going back to that again. And that's what powers him. That's what, that's how he thrives today. This is how he just put so many strategies and disciplines in place just thinking about that mindset from when he was younger. And so when I listened to you, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this started in high school. And so it's amazing that you would tell that story. Man, you always had the innate ability in you to do it. And it's so fantastic that you're still carrying it out to this day. That's wonderful, man. It really
Yeah,
is.
I would just say one other last thing that just pops in my head that really opened my eyeballs was when I first started working for commission
Mm,
and realizing that the harder that you work and the smarter that you work, the more money that you can make. And so when I was in high school selling cell phones and going to the local mall, while different people I would work with would goof off or go to lunch for an hour of their whole 5-hour shift, I was doing everything that I could to make every sale, create every relationship, do everything that I could because I was getting paid, 15, $20 for slinging each one of these phones. Well, if I can do 5 a night, that's $100 or 5, holy cow, and all that. And so, I think everyone needs to have a job where their money is based on their performance, and it will show you whether you're the kind of person that can go figure out how to eat, and create your own path forward.
Absolutely. So well said. So well said. Let me ask you, what's the next real goal? Are you looking to solve something, scale something next? Like what's next in line for you to kill and eat?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, so right now we're scaling our restaurant concept pretty consistently. So Everbowl, when I found them, they had about 22 locations out of California, now over 100 locations. We own 11 of those locations and are continually looking for more and have investors that are all part of that. And same thing with real estate. We're not making any huge swings right now, and instead just kind of chunking along and continually expanding. I'm a big believer in compound interest. Just keep doing the right things, let it keep growing, let it keep growing. And I have time on my side. I'm very young. And so, really for me isn't about going and taking huge swings and what we're going to knock out of the park next, but just continually making good decisions for our investors, for our group, and looking for other opportunities that present themselves over this next period of time. And, we chatted for a second before the podcast, but I believe that, there's going to be opportunities in real estate that are already starting to present themselves. And as interest rates keep resetting for a lot of people that did short-term loans, it's going to continue to create other opportunities. So we're always looking for, those different cracks in the foundation. And the old Warren Buffett rule, when everyone runs away from something is when you run towards it. And that's exactly how I've built my wealth. So right now, we don't see any specific area to go run towards, but we definitely see cracks in the foundation that we know will create opportunities, and we're going to be ready for them.
I love it. It's like when the cracks show, I'll have the tool to fix the crack. Now, I absolutely love it for sure. Now I know you say you have a syndicate, and just listening to you, I mean, in the industries that you're in, it seems to me that you know the value of building valuable relationships, right? So I want to pick your brain a little bit on what's your strategy with building relationships? What's your viewpoint on relationships? Are they beneficial to you? Have they served you in a positive way? I would love to hear your take on relationships.
Well, not to give like another meme quote or whatever, but your network is your net worth. And that's something. And then another one, you're the average of the 4 or 5 people you hang around the most. Those are as real as it gets and need to be said and repeated over and over and over again. If you look at kids that get into issues and troubles, look at who their friends are. And it's no different with adults. Look at 4 alcoholics, the fifth one's an alcoholic, right? It's no surprise. And so surrounding yourself with the right people, with the right network, and with people that don't mind having challenges and real conversations. I don't want to have relationships with people where everything's always smiles and rainbows and everything's perfect. I want to go through life with people that admit when there are challenges. And I also want to be in business with people that are okay saying this is a challenging time and here's what we're doing because of it, etc. Right? There's no such thing as just going up and straight to the right. We all have these challenges. We all have these ups and downs, and having a networking group and different people that you can count on. I'm going to San Diego next week, and I know there's a group of guys. We're all going to dinner, and they're all in different industries. And every time that I'm out there, and we literally talk about all the worst stuff you're not supposed to talk about, right? Because that's where progress happens, and that's where people can actually see from other people's points of view what's going on in the world and how they might be able to adjust, and also how we learn from each other. Because when you admit your problems, what I've found is if I go up to 10 people that I know and like and trust, and I say, I'm really stuck on this one thing right now, 2 or 3 of them are going to say, I've been there. It's easy. Do this and this and this.
Yeah.
Like if you came to me with some sort of, rental house issue, guess what? I used to have dozens of them and I've dealt with hundreds of, tenants and issues and all this kind of stuff. I can fix those things so quick. But when people pretend that everything is perfect, then you don't have that same progress. So there's nothing more important to me than my network, my friends, my investors, relationships, and then also having real relationships and real conversations and being able to admit when things are tough or rough or challenging, and be able to work through those together, knowing that we are all going to have those ups and downs in our lives, and we need to have people that support us through that, and that we are there to support others when they go through that as well.
I love it. The one thing I found out, as growing older, I thought peer pressure was just for like teenagers, people in their 20s. No, peer pressure is applied to every transition of your life. There is peers around you that put pressure on you, but they can put pressure on you in a positive way. And so, they say, pressure, it create diamonds or it busts pipes. Like when you are around people that hold you accountable, that force you to confront your issues, because confrontation is not necessarily a dirty word. Confrontation just means you confront the issue that's in front of you. So you have peers that force you to hold you accountable and confront things around you. I think that's like the best thing. And so just listening to you talk, yeah, the people that you surround yourself with is everything, because they're gonna pull you up and make you better, especially if you surround yourself with the right people. So no, I definitely appreciate you saying that, Mr. Justin, for sure. Now, listen, listen, is there anything else maybe that you wanted to add or leave the people when it comes to maybe inspiration, motivation, education? Is there something that you feel like needs to be said that we haven't said just yet?
No, I think it's, one of the foundations I live my life off of is actually bamboo. So if you see here, I've got my
Mm,
company
come
pen.
on.
It's actually made out of bamboo, and when we have many of our core philosophies kind of built into around our company. So, it's in the book Chop Wood, Carry Water, if anyone wants a great read. But there's a short chapter in there about bamboo. And with bamboo, you plant the seed and you always water it, but you never know when it's going to sprout. And but when it does sprout, it goes crazy, right? Foot, 18 inches, 2 feet a day, and all of a sudden, but you never know when that's going to happen. And I really encourage everyone listening to this to live your life that way. If every day you go plant new seeds and water everything, then great things always happen. And in 20 years of building different businesses and having more highs and lows than I could ever explain in a 10-hour podcast, the reality is that the more good decisions I make and the more that you water their bamboo, then that great stuff sprouts. It always does every time. And wow, am I glad? And I always say thank you to previous Justin for the decisions and the good decisions I made in the past. Because really, I'm living right now because of decisions I made 5, 10, 15 years ago. And my future self will be living based upon the decisions that I'm making right now. And so making those good decisions, water that bamboo, amazing things happen. I guarantee it.
Man, so well said. Thank you for saying that. There's a book I'm reading right now. It's called Gradually Then Suddenly. And so everything you just explained about the bamboo, that's what this book talks about. Success happened two ways: gradually, then suddenly. Just like the bamboo, you plant the seed, you water it, and then out of nowhere. And
Yep.
when that bamboo grows, the bamboo it's strong. The roots are deep. And so well said, Mr. Justin. Thank you so much, man. And listen, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, collaborate with you, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you, sir?
Yeah, so I love the social media game. I'm on Instagram at Sloan Capital or on LinkedIn, Justin Sloan. And I would love people to reach out. It's always important. I love, again, I talked about growing my network and having conversations. And people, I can't tell you, I slide into the DMs of other people that I want to get to know or respect or whatever. And the more that we all do this and reach out and pick each other's brains and find ways to compound, do it. So yeah, find me on Instagram or LinkedIn.
Yeah. Well, there he is. Mr. Justin Sloan, thank you so much. Thank you for your story. Thank you for your perspective. Thank you for your time. This was a pleasure. I really appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so much. It was fun.
Absolutely. Listen, y'all, listen. You can't tell me you didn't get the value out of that conversation. You can't tell me. So please make sure you're subscribed. That way, when that alert goes off, you can come in and just hear these amazing people, just like Mr. Justin, that we're going to continue to bring up. And so, Mr. Justin, I thank you so much. And to everyone else, we will see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.